Last week, a little over a week ago, I was in Auschwitz. As part of the delegation from Los Angeles, I had a special role. I was bringing a bunch of TikTok influencers to teach them about our history and to walk them from Auschwitz to Birkenau. And the reason why I bring that up tonight is because, and this is what I shared with them in the Hall of Names, which is a very special place in Auschwitz. It's a room that has the name of every Jew who was murdered in the Holocaust written in a book. Jews come from all over the world to find their families' names in those books. And I stood with the members of the delegation and I shared with them the words of a telegram that was sent from the head of the Jewish Agency in London to the head of the Federation in New York in 1939. And it says, we've got 5,280 kids that we're trying to get to the land of Israel. And the House of Lords and the House of Commons won't help us. Can you please lobby the president to allow the Turkish government to allow these young ones to come through on trains to get to Palestine? We can only process 50 at a time according to the Ottomans. And we need you. And the truth is, no matter how hard we worked then, no matter how hard the Jewish Agency worked then, most of those kids were murdered. Instead of going to Palestine, they ended up in Auschwitz. And their names are in those books. And I tried to explain it to them that you cannot separate the Jewish story from the story of Israel. That without a safe and secure state of Israel, we have a situation where Jews are threatened and they end up on trains. And without regulation and moderation of content online, hate speech becomes Auschwitz very, very quickly. And it's only because we have a safe and secure state of Israel that we as Jews can walk with pride in the world and know that we'll always have a place to go. And that after the horrors of October 7th, the words never again changed in our mind. It doesn't mean that there will no longer be massacres. It doesn't mean that there will no longer be atrocities. But for the first time in our history, when we get punched in the face, we can punch back. That's what it means to have the state of Israel. And that's what it means to have a homeland. Now, if any of you have ever been there, you know that there is that famous sign, Arbeit macht frei, which means work will make you free. We, with 9,000 other delegates from all over the world, including VIPs from Israel and other countries, walked under those gates from Auschwitz to Birkenau, from the concentration camp to the death camp. And at the end of that gate, there's a long road, and at the end of that road, there's a traffic circle. And in that traffic circle, on that day, there were a group of pro-Palestinian protesters that unveiled banners and flags with bullhorns. And the Polish police were good. They kept them away. But because they kept them away, the pro-Palestinian protesters inflated hundreds and hundreds of balloons in the shape of a Palestinian flag and flew it like a kite over Auschwitz. In which case I turned to these influencers and said very plainly, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, case closed, look right there, on this day, on this anniversary, right there. And they finally got it. They finally understood it. Now, what we see across the world with the rise of anti-Semitism, what we see here at home with the rise of anti-Semitism, whether it's a protest on campus or a protest on the street, or Jews being assaulted, Jews being accosted, their businesses being infiltrated, we, the Federation, we're here for you. When it came to the encampment, we worked with law enforcement. We worked with elected officials. I was on the phone day and night with the county, the city, the mayor, and even U.S. senators. And over the course of several days, we were able to show rapidly and repeatedly how the UCLA encampment infringed on the proper time, place, and manner, and that the chancellor was using one set of rules for Jews and one set of rules for other people. And because of the pressure we were able to bring to bear and the rally that we were able to bring to campus, we got the encampment shut down. That's the work of the Federation. Now, it's a hard time. Whether it's here or in Israel, we know that. It's 200,000 Israelis still displaced. The entire north of Israel is empty and being bombarded by rockets from Hezbollah. The south, even though people are coming back, they are deeply traumatized. And we were there and have been there since before the founding of the State of Israel. So when the atrocities of October 7th happened, we were there to step in immediately. We provided immediate funds. We raised over $35 million in just a few short weeks to help the people and the State of Israel. Globally, the Federation system, which we are a part of, raised $800 million to help the people of Israel because of the work we do together. But I want to be clear that we don't just fight against anti-Semitism. That's not the only thing that we do. Last year alone, the Federation helped 60,000 Angelenos, Jewish Angelenos, from falling into poverty and falling into homelessness. 60,000. We helped put 10,000 Jewish kids in schools across the Southland. We helped 5,000 students and campers go to Jewish summer camp last summer alone. There are 2,500 Holocaust survivors living here in LA, 1,000 of whom are living in near or at poverty. Who is going to take care of them? Our federation raises the funds. We went to Sacramento and leveraged $24 million to help pay for the 1,000 Holocaust survivors so that they can live their last part of their lives in dignity because their family has not. That is the work of the Federation. Tomorrow, I am flying to Sacramento with 90 delegates from LA to go lobby on behalf of the Jewish people to fight anti-Semitism, to support Jewish kids, to support frail seniors, to support those in need. Only the Federation can both fight against anti-Semitism and fight for Jewish life. Only the Federation can create Jewish life and use every vertical that we have, every tool that we have, to make sure that Jewish life is better for you, for me, and our family here in Europe and in Israel. That is the power of the Jewish Federation.